Before we get started here with the tip-off, we want to thank OAC Commissioner Tim Gleason. I would say that we would try to talk to him tonight, but in this sea of people, I have no idea where he is. We will try to get him, but we can't promise anything. Also want to say thanks to OAC Director of Information, Lindsay Miller. Was able to talk with her today up at Mount Union, and she does a great job. Of course, Jeff Shalley here at Marietta, who gives us a good setup. And all these fans, we had to climb over people, and they were very welcoming to us. So we want to say thanks to everyone here at Marietta and, of course, the OAC for welcoming us in and letting us bring this to you live. Here, of course, we want to say thanks to Interface Video Productions out of Lancaster, Ohio. They put this on and have done a fabulous job, so we thank Bob Competti and his crew. We'll give credit to them in just a little bit, tell you who's on cameras as we get set for the tip-off. The OAC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship, Marietta College. Number 1 seed coming in, hosting the number 2 seed, John Carroll University, out of University Heights, Ohio. And we are underway. Blue Streaks control it. It's David Lenane, as you mentioned earlier. Nice dump inside, and a thunderous dunk to start for the Carroll Blue Streaks. Kucharowicz on the dunk for John Carroll. Dylan Young swings it left side. Here's Luis Garcia, back out to Young. Young will fire up a long-range three, in and out. That was in the cylinder. Quickly up ahead come the Blue Streaks. They'll swing it to the corner. And back out to Lenane. Right side. Danny Wallach left his feet to throw a pass. It looked like he wanted to shoot it, and that just kind of got everything out of control. Stolen away by Dylan Young. Brennan McKean gives it back out to Garcia. Garcia on the drive, inside the paint. Shot no good. Rebounded by Wallach. David Lenane now is going to be fouled. And it'll be Blue Streak basketball underneath their own hoop.
Well, Brennan McKean's got the, I will say, honor of having to guard David Lenane, and you can look, he has accepted the challenge.
Jump shot put up, no good. And goes off the leg of Dylan Young right into the hands of John Carroll. Here's a three put up, no good for Danny Wallach. Luis Garcia, the backside board.
That was an outstanding effort by the Marietta defenders to contest the shot, Jared, and put pressure on the shot.
Backing in. Shot off the glass, no good for A.J. Edwards. Rebounded by the big man inside, Doug Caputo. Here's Lenane on the drive. Left-handed shot, no good. Pioneers the rebound. Here comes Young. 2-0 here. John Carroll on top. Marietta yet to crack the scoreboard. Long range three, way out there. Draining it is Luis Garcia. The 6'1" senior from Miami, Florida.
Yeah, we've seen that before, Jared. He's got great range.
Will Starks with the basketball. Swing it left side to Danny Wallach. Back over now to Lenane. 15 seconds on the shot clock. 17:42 on the game clock in the first half. Three-point attempt up and in for Danny Wallach. 5-3 Blue Streaks.
You notice they always pick up full court, but that was not high pressure that time. That was more of a harass you a little bit. But they make you concentrate for 40 minutes, Jared, with their pressure.
There's a three put up. Off the iron for Eddie Grinnert. Lenane back up the far side. Skip pass over to the corner. Wallach running jumper, no good. Got his own putback. 5 points for Danny Wallach. And John Carroll leads 7-3. Young drives inside the paint. Tried to wrap a pass around. I think he's trying to get it over to his big man, A.J. Edwards. You'll see on the replay the three from earlier down here. Look how far out he was, Shu.
Wow. That's real range, Jared.
Yes, it is.
Here's our hockey style, Jared. 5 for 5 right here. Yep. 5 in, 5 out. You got your work cut out.
Makes it difficult for the announcer.
I'm happy it's you.
Here's Garcia with the basketball. He'll fire up a three with a man in his face. No good. Rebounded by Ryan Farragher. Farragher gives it off.
Vianchik.
Yep, to Vianchik. Now right side. Back out now to Farragher. Vianchik in the corner. Hits the three.
You know, he stayed out here and shot a lot. I watched him early. He's left-handed, Lakewood St. Ed grad, and I tell you, Jared, he filled it up during the – I know warm-ups is not when there's the clock running, but he has a sweet stroke in it. We saw it right there.
10-3 is your score, 16-14 to play in the first half. John Carroll's come out with a purpose here in this first half.
You know, it's going to come down to some possessions and a few plays. They're so even. I mean, I had a fan on the way in say, well, you think it's going to be a good game? And I said, well, you know, John Carroll won by 4 there and Marietta 5 here, so there's a 1-point difference. Can you get any closer?
Glad to have you along live here from Marietta College. Jared Stewart, Tim Shumaker, the OAC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship. Number 1, Marietta, trailing right now. Number 2, John Carroll, 10-3. Both these teams, however, going to be in the NCAA tournament. Just a matter of where, right?
Yep, they're all playing for position right here tonight, plus a championship. You always want to win a championship. The opportunities in life are sometimes narrow. You want to take the advantage of that, and there's nothing like winning one at home.
Inbound pass comes into Grinnert. And a nice putback for A.J. Edwards.
You see why he's been so productive recently.
Edwards out of Twinsburg, Ohio, Twinsburg High School. Vianchik will fire up another three. He just hit one earlier, no good this time. Dylan Young, the backside rebound. McKean gives it back out. Luis Garcia, a three.
I think he got fouled on the play also,
I think so,
Jared.
That could have been a 4-point play. Marietta climbing back. There's an off-balance jumper, no good. Grinnert the rebound.
Yeah, that's not really a good shot in what you want to do offensively. Whether you're playing fast or however you play, that's not a good selection.
Young takes a screen. Gives it over now to Edwards. Now McKean. Brendan McKean. Shot clock down to 8. McKean, fall-away jumper's no good. Rebounded by Cirillo. Vianchik gives it off to Papich. Vianchik in the corner, no good. Well, that was Farragher in the corner. Cirillo fighting for it, and he puts it up and in.
That's a nice baseline drive, I tell you what. Put his head down and just beat the defender.
Look at this hustle play. Nice job on the steal, 2-on-1, and Farragher finishes it.
Well, that's exactly what Coach Vanderwald talked about, that he didn't want to happen, is turn it over, because it leads to their points, Jared.
Now a whistle and a foul. After the missed three on the rebound attempt, a foul going to be called, and here we go. There's 5 for 5 here.
There you go. You're right. The hockey substitutions have begun.
Marietta going to bring some substitutions of their own. A whole new 5 on both sides.
Hey, if you have good enough players, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
You just got to make sure you have enough good players.
Jack Tome is in for Marietta. So is Kyle Dixon. A.J. Ireland is in there. Anthony Wallace, right side, driving in the paint. It's Danny Wallach, has it stripped away. Here's Ireland. Picked up his dribble. Now he needs to get it to somebody. He does get it back to Wallace. 13:50 to play in the first half. 14-8 John Carroll. Wallace drives and scores.
He just glided through, Jared.
David Linane now with the basketball. They'll swing it right side to Caputo. Now to Will Starks. Starks crossover dribble, back out now to Wallach and Lenane. Lenane drives inside the paint. Nice shot off the glass. First points of the game for David Lenane. 16-10, John Carroll. Nate Walker with the basketball for the Pioneers. Loses it. Don't know if he was trying to pass or going to shoot. And the other way, finishing and scoring, is Simon Kucharowicz. 4 points in the game for Simon.
Yeah, he did a great job running the floor for as big as he is, and he's got a big knee brace. Simon got right down the floor and did an awesome job.
6'7" senior from Brook Park, Ohio, Mid-Park High School.
He looks bigger to me, Jerry.
Yes, he does. Jack Tome scores for Marietta.
Nice job of taking his time in the post and finishing.
18-12. And Lenane's pass is stolen, and now a foul going to be called. I think they're going to get John Carroll with it.
Yeah, Iggy Santiago called the foul.
The shot of the crowd. Look at that shoe on the side that we're on. It is standing room only pretty much. You've got him standing up around the walkway behind the backboard.
I know one thing, it's warm.
Yeah. 18-12 is your score. 12:22 to play in the first half. Drive, kick it back out. A.J. Ireland, no, check that. In the corner. That's Kyle Dixon drains a three. Dixon out of Poland Seminary.
And he also gave the John Carroll fans a little bit of...
yeah, he did.
You know, I think you got to be careful doing those kind of things.
Lenane drains a three.
Now, you can see why he's pretty good right there. I mean, he's not just a traditional. He shot a little floater there. He steps back and shoots the three. He's got a lot of offensive skill and talent.
He scored the last 5 points for the Blue Streaks. Now a whistle and an offensive foul on Marietta.
Yeah, officials got to get control of this a little bit. Emotions have taken over. We've seen a response to a crowd. We've seen a John Carroll player. You know, you got to be careful. The taunting could come in, Jared.
You're right.
Hurt you and penalize team. You got to keep your emotions in check.
Coach Vanderwall not happy at all over on the far sideline.
No.
His team trails at 21-15. Farragher travels with the basketball. Vanderwall still giving it to the official.
Yeah, he's going to ask him to drop it here in a moment.
Inbound pass comes into Nate Walker.
Here's the run and jump and run and trap. It's really good to give it to their second group also, who might not be as good as you can see. That's a poor shot.
Yeah. Redshirt freshman Anthony Wallace on the last missed shot, and the shot no good for John Carroll. Coach Vanderwall still in the ear of the official, and actually had to have one of his assistants pull him back right there. Yeah. Jack Tome is called for the foul. At the free throw line will be Antonio Vianchek.
See, what you don't want in this situation, you don't want to get a technical. The official doesn't want to give him a technical because that could really hurt you. This is going to be a tight game before it's over.
So Vianchek hits the first of 2 free throws. Second one is up and also good. 5 points for Antonio Vianchek. 23-15, 8-point lead for John Carroll.
Let's see if they play it straight up. See, they give you different. It's kind of like football. They give you a look and then they do something different. That's good. That's good defensive basketball.
Ireland, no, check that. It's Will Starks. For Kyle Dixon's shot is swatted. Back the other way comes John Carroll. 3-point attempt put up and in for John Cirillo. 5 points for Cirillo.
Yeah, big push here for the Blue Streaks. A little bit of a run. Jumped it up to 11, Jared.
Quick ball movement around the Dixon, and now a whistle and a foul going to be called on the Blue Streaks. Subs coming in for the Pioneers. Get some of their starters back in.
Fresh crew for the Pioneers.
Yeah, Marietta starters, all 5 are back in, Jared.
On the inbound pass, almost stolen away. Pioneers control it, though. Here's Young.
Well, John Carroll overplays and contests everything all the time, so you know what? Their players are used to it. It's consistent coaching.
Backing in. It's a power move. Nice job by Eddie Grinnert.
Real nice move.
Grinnert's first points of the ball game. 26-17 is the score. Farragher gives it off, now gets it back. Farragher in the paint. Spin move for Alan Stokes and traveling. Here comes 5 new ones set to check in for Coach Moran.
A fresh group, as we should say.
I think the PA announcer has decided the easiest thing to do is just say fresh group.
Yep, that was funny.
Both these teams going with 5, 5, 5.
Yeah, you know what? It's good. They're playing 10 players, and you want to get their feet wet here in the first half before you have to decide and kind of cut down on when you go to quality minutes.
Down to 9:36 to play in the first half. 26-17. John Carroll. Young gives it off to Grinnert. Now McKean. McKean drives to the elbow, has it stolen away, stripped by Lenane into the hands of Will Starks. Back to Starks for 3, and he got it.
That was in rhythm. That was a nice controlled transition. Shooting his rhythm, Jared, and you saw it right there, the result.
Well, check that. It wasn't Lenane. It was Wallach with the hustle play to steal. Back for another 3-point attempt for Starks. No good. And a whistle and a foul going to be called on Simon Kukcharowicz.
Yeah, that was a heat check there. I don't think Coach Moran wanted that shot. You know, you make one, you think you can make the next one too. So you want players like that, but you also got to understand when and where.
Dan Hennessy checks in for John Carroll, replaces the big man who just picked up his second foul. Hennessy out of Gahanna, St. Charles Prep High School. Whistle and a foul going to be called on Hennessy.
Foul is on number 44, Dan Hennessy. His first foul.
6'8" senior.
Well, they've done a good job of getting the Pioneers a little flustered, out of sync. Yeah, that's not the foul you want right there, Jared. That one, you're going to get some fouls when you play high pressure denial defense, but that's just and he knew it. David Lenane knew it as soon as he did it. Got a little greedy and got caught reaching. Put his hand in the cookie jar.
Young drives, kicks it back out. McKean baseline jumper, no good. Rebounded by Hennessy.
Nice move. He just didn't get the shot to go.
Long range 3 for Wallach. Grinnert the rebound. 8:25 to play in the first half. John Carroll leads it by 12, 29-17. McKean, he'll fire up a 3. In and out. Grinnert, nice hustle for the rebound. Lost it, but a nice job on the putback by A.J. Edwards.
Yeah, you said it. Really good effort by Eddie Grinnert. Kept the ball alive.
29-19. Back to 10. Here's David Lenane. He scores it.
Now, how good is that? Switch to the left hand. Wow, what talent. He is a good player.
5'9" junior out of Euclid, Ohio. He went to Gates Mills Gilmore Academy.
Substitution for Marietta College.
A.J. Ireland checks back in for Marietta College. He replaces A.J. Edwards and Lenane at the free throw line.
Well, that's A.J.'s second foul. You know what? It's going to be a little bit of a juggle there for Coach Vanderwall with A.J. because you got to have him. He's been so productive recently.
Free throw up and good for David Lenane.
Now, he's got 8 points already, Jared, and, you know, that's one of Coach Vanderwall. The first thing he told me, we got to control David Lenane.
73% free throw shooter, but that one looked pretty darn good there. 32-19, 7:54 to play, and a running first half clock. Young trying to come to the near side, cut off by Alan Stokes. Get it inside to Grinnert. Here's Grinnert. Back out now. McKean. He'll fire up a jumper as the shot clock buzzer goes off. It's no good.
Really good defensive possession for the Blue Streaks.
Back the other way. Papich kicks it back out to Farragher. Now to Vianchek. Vianchek. Back to Papich. Vianchek on the drive. Couldn't get the shot to go. Ball loose and out of bounds. It'll go to Marietta.
I tell you, John Carroll just does a really good job of allowing their players to play one-on-one. They have skill. They run the weave, hand the ball off, and just try to gain an edge a little bit with being able to penetrate and play one-on-one.
7 minutes to play in the first half. Nice little running jumper inside the paint for Luis Garcia.
Yeah, it gave us a little finger roll right there to finish that one out.
Three-point attempt up and in. John Cirillo, that's his second three of the night.
That's big when you're 4 or 5 steps out and can do that, Jared.
8 points for Cirillo. 35-21. Here comes Young. Kick it over to Grinnert. Wide open.
Yeah, the back end of your press has to do a better job of stepping up and matching up there to take away the layup.
Vianchek, shot no good. Rebounded by McKean. Up ahead to Grinnert. The big man running the floor. Now he has it stolen away. John Cirillo steals it. Cirillo now gives it back. They'll swing it around to Farragher. Now to Vianchek. Nice pass. And up and under. Shot put in for Alan Stokes.
Papich.
Check that. That's Papich. I thought that was 32, Alan Stokes. Grinnert has a shot blocked. They're going to get a whistle and a foul.
Well, Dylan Young's done a nice job the last couple of possessions here breaking down the defense of John Carroll. I realize their pressure, but they've got to step and help and hedge and slow the ball down a little sooner. He's just getting too deep, Jared. It breaks down and you get fouls. And I know with playing 10, 11 guys, you're not as worried about the foul trouble, but it does add up when teams can go to the line and score without the clock running. Especially with John Carroll building a 14-point lead right now. You know what you want to do is you want to put your foot on the pedal a little bit and give them a little more pressure.
Fresh 5 for John Carroll. 4 come in for Marietta. Obviously, Grinnert stays in. Missed the front end of the free throws. There's a second. Got that one. 5 points for Eddie Grinnert. Lenane with the basketball. Kick it back out now to Wallach. And here's Lenane again. Starks back to Lenane. He'll fire up a three. No good. Doug Caputo fighting for the rebound. And what do we have? We have a jump ball.
Well, I like that the officials gave it a second. You know, a lot of times we'll see them blow the whistle immediately when two people have it. They let it sort and then saw that it was held long enough by both players.
5:12 and counting here in this first half. John Carroll leads it 37-24. Left side, it's Kyle Dixon. Dixon just beyond the free throw arc line, couldn't get it to go. Blue Streaks the rebound. Here's Lenane. Now Wallach. Long range three put up on the far side. No good for Will Starks. Marietta the rebound. Dixon back to Grinnert. He'll fire up the three. The big guy draining it.
In rhythm again, Jared. He was the trailer on the secondary break, jumped up and stuck it.
Back to within 10, 37-27. Linane spin move inside the paint, no good. And he saves it in bounds, and a timeout. Nice job, he saved it. No, save was on the line. I thought there was a timeout called by Dan Hennessy, but before that, somebody was on the line, so it goes back to Marietta College.
But you see how fast momentum can change. I mean, it was 14, and within seconds it's 10 again. And a chance to take it down even lower if they have a good possession here.
Uh-oh. Walker tried to get it off to Barbara, and he lost it but got it back. And going the other way. Foul going to be called on Marietta.
Well, the two things that Coach Vanderwall was concerned about, turnovers and shot selection has been a real heel to them right now in their side, a little thorn in their side offensively. They've had a lot of turnovers, and they've really been marginal shot selection.
Dump inside, ball stolen. Kyle Dixon with it, gives it off to Barbara. His shot's no good, rebounded by John Carroll. Here come the Blue Streaks. Will Starks, he'll pull up, jumper no good. Grennert the rebound. Back the other way comes Marietta. Whistle. Count the bucket for Anthony Wallace.
A little Euro step and contact.
Yeah.
How about that?
David Linane is called for the foul. That's his second. So Anthony Wallace goes to the free throw line. 4 points in the game.
You know, one of the things that, as a coach, is annoying is what we used to call a tap foul. Don't have a tap foul. If you're going to make a decision to really go at the ball, hit him hard enough that it doesn't go up.
Right.
And I know that's hard, but you really have to emphasize that you have to make the foul count.
Yep. Wallace, free throw is up and good. And we're Marietta back to within 7 at 37-30. Vianchek gives it off to Papich. Now back to Vianchek. Over right side now to Farragher. Swing it back to the other side. Cirillo, spin move to the elbow, kick it back out. Cirillo thought about the three, goes on the drive, and a charge going to be called on John Cirillo.
Yeah, that's as we always say, it's toughest call in basketball. You know, I know I'd like to see him over and over each time because I'm not sure it happens so fast.
Yeah.
Neither side's ever going to be satisfied no matter what the call is made there.
3:11 to play in the first half. 37-30, John Carroll. Pioneers finally get it in. Barbara has it stolen away by Vianchek. And then a foul going to be called on Barbara.
Well, the thing why the pressure bothers the young Marietta guards is physical strength, Jared. They're not quite as strong with the basketball as the other players are that started the game.
Foul is on number 14, Isaiah Barbara. His second foul, team 7th. Antonio Vianchek.
Vianchek is at the free throw line. And got it to go. In our camera shot there, you can see all the fans standing up behind the backboard. Vianchek's second free throw also good. 7 points for Antonio Vianchek out of Lakewood St. Edwards High School. 39-30. John Carroll on top. Here's Grennert, and he's fouled.
Well, as a post defender, you've got to move your feet. You cannot lock up and allow the offensive player to make contact here. You're just not going to get that call.
Called the foul on Alan Stokes. So Eddie Grennert to the free throw line. Grennert from Worcester, Ohio, Triway High School. 6'5" senior. We saw him last year in the championship game, played very, very well.
And looking at Eddie's bio, he is a petroleum engineer major, and you know, Marietta puts out a lot of people that they'll go into that field and are outstanding. It's a great area for him to be involved in.
Second free throw. Up and good for Grennert. And officials will call a timeout as something's happened with the PA system here at Van Johnson Arena.
Well, I'm glad it's not our system.
Yeah. Now they got it. So it'll be John Carroll basketball. They lead it 39-32. 2:50 on a running first half clock. Here's Vianchek. Vianchek drives, baseline, puts it up and in.
Yeah, he's really skilled offensively.
6'3" sophomore. Quickly the other way comes Anthony Wallace. Get it inside to Grennert.
Got to read the double team there. He had opposite, but what the John Carroll defenders did, Jared, is had their hands active mirroring the ball.
Wallace drives, and a block going to be called on John Cirillo.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Anthony Wallace to the free throw line. He's 1 for 1 there tonight with 5 points total.
Well, this last 2:18 is critical for Marietta because you're in a situation where you're down 9, depending on what happens here with the free throws. How you go in at half here? You know, you don't want to be any worse off than now, so they've got to play well here in the last 2:18. And if they can make it even less, that'll be a little momentum and lift coming into the second half because I'm sure they feel like they haven't had a good half.
Yeah.
And John Carroll's had a lot to do with that.
Right. So Wallace at the free throw line. First one's up and in and out. Second one for Wallace is good. 41-33, 8-point deficit for Marietta. Here's Farragher. They'll kick it back out to Wallach. Shot clock down to 11. Starks. Off balance jump shot. Still had plenty of time on the shot clock. And it's out of bounds back to Marietta.
And that's really good defense that time without fouling.
.149 and running here in this first half. Dixon gives it off left side. Ireland, back now to Ireland, fires up a three-pointer. No good. Nice rebound by Eddie Grennert. Grennert up strong, but he's fouled.
Okay, he really went from A to B to get the board. I love effort like that. That's a senior knowing that this could be it and doesn't want it to be the end.
Yep. First free throw up for Grennert. Good. 11 points for Eddie Grennert. Second one up and good. See a quick replay of that last rebound. Wow, nice hustle.
Oh, see how much ground he covered to go get the basketball? That's incredibly good.
The other way, the kiss off the glass for Ryan Farragher. 43-35. 8-point lead for John Carroll. Grennert inside the paint, spin move off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Wallach. Here come the Blue Streaks. Caputo almost loses it, and a whistle. And the shot clock, apparently there was an issue with the shot clock. So the official will go over and get that straightened out. We'll see what they sort out here. 56.6 showing on the game clock. I didn't see if it wasn't running. There we go. It should be they've got it at 18 now.
About 10 seconds, I think it was frozen.
So 18 seconds on the shot clock, 56.6 on the game clock here in the first half. Caputo gives back to Farragher. And an offensive foul as A.J. Ireland stepped over and took that one.
That's great defense. His head had his shoulders parallel to the sideline, Jared, and moved his feet. The offensive player had to use his arm to gain an advantage. What good defense by A.J. Ireland.
A.J. Ireland is a 6'3 senior from Carroll, Ohio, Bloom Carroll High School.
Well, he's had a really excellent coach in high school in Tom Petty.
Yep. 46 seconds and a running first half clock, 43-35. Marietta trails by 8. Drive, shot off the glass, no good for Nate Walker. Down to 30 seconds. Game clock at 22. Difference of about 6 seconds between the game clock and the shot clock.
This is the only time you've not seen the John Carroll Blue Streaks moving.
That's true.
Honestly, they are in motion offensively and defensively constant.
Coach Moran takes a timeout, a 30-second timeout, with 18.2 on the game clock, 11 on the shot clock.
He's just going to work for maybe what they want to get here, a little special situation. You know, I had an opportunity to speak to them both about what do you tweak for this game, you know, what do you do? And, you know, you want to stay with the things that are good and have been successful for you, but you also got to look at maybe just a little play like right here at the end of the half. You know, can I get an isolation for this situation when we feel we have an advantage for a player? And that's what it's all about. It becomes a little chess game at this point.
So it'll be John Carroll basketball as they call the timeout. (43-35) is the score. John Carroll's pretty much been in control of the game from the start. It's been fairly close, but they've had it up to at least a 12-point lead a couple different times. Lenane on the drive, the shot up and good.
Yeah, that's a good option, right? Give it to David Lenane. Let him make a play.
Down to 3 seconds. Ball stolen away. Down to 1 second. And no good at the buzzer, but a 45-35, 10-point lead at half for John Carroll.
Yeah, what a good timeout and a good play to come back to your best player. He makes plays. He's a good passer, but he's really, really a good scorer. As you can see, Jerry, he's not just a shooter. He's got a lot of talent and a lot of skills. And, you know, the Blue Streaks have really dominated this first half. So Coach Vanderwaal's got some work to do at halftime here to see if they can get it straight, what they want to do. And the momentum has never really been, at least I felt, with Marietta at any point in this first half.
So what do you think these coaches are going over with their players right now in the locker room?
Well, you know, from John Carroll, he's got to be really happy with the tempo. And as we talked about, just the activity and the movement. You know, Coach Moran spoke about how much energy and enthusiasm. Well, I've definitely seen that. It's there. And I think Marietta's execution has not been as good as they're used to. You know, they know how to play each other. These teams are both unique in their styles. Both are high-scoring teams. I think Coach Vanderwaal, one of the things that he has to do is get them to, A, take care of the ball, and they've had no rhythm offensively. I mean, some of the shots have been okay, some questionable, but nothing consistent. They've had no great offensive possessions, and I think you got to give credit to John Carroll's defense because their denial defense and overplay has really rattled the Marietta Pioneers.
Halftime, and John Carroll leads 45-35 over Marietta College. We will take a pause right here. We'll be back with first half stats and analysis and also the second half action of the OAC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship from Ban Johnson Arena coming up. Stay with us.
A member of NCAA Division III, the OAC features outstanding educational programs in a small class setting, while offering competitive athletic opportunities in 23 sports. 10 private colleges and universities form the OAC, the nation's premier small athletic conference. Baldwin Wallace University, Capital University, Heidelberg University, John Carroll University, Marietta College, the University of Mount Union, Muskingum University, Ohio Northern University, Otterbein University, and Wilmington College. The Ohio Athletic Conference, where a proud history meets the promise of tomorrow.
What's up, man? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How's it going? It's good.
I chose John Carroll because of that excellent academic reputation.
If you really look at the mission of John Carroll, what it boils down to is putting others before yourself, and really everybody reaps the benefits of that.
Be smart. Remember to pray.
I think this is the start of becoming my own person.
You'll do wonderfully, and I'm so proud of you. We love you.
Your future begins here. Marietta College opens the door to endless opportunities through our 45 in-depth programs of study. Do you want to work in business, healthcare, engineering? Let us show you how Marietta College can help you get there. Our contemporary liberal arts education is the answer to a bright future. Now is the time to find out why Marietta College is the right place for you. Apply today.
Welcome back live to Van Johnson Arena, Fenton Court here at Marietta College. Jared Stewart, Tim Shumaker, the OAC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship. Your halftime score, 45-35. John Carroll in the lead right now. And taking a look at some first half scoring, first of all, for Marietta, it was Anthony Wallace with 6 points. Kyle Dixon had 3. Luis Garcia had 8. A.J. Edwards with 4. Jack Tome with 2. And Eddie Grennert led the way with 12 points. For John Carroll, Danny Wallach had 5. Antonio Vianchek had 9. Ryan Farragher had 4. It was David Lenane leading the way for the Blue Streaks with 10. Will Starks had 3. Simon Kupcharowicz 4. Alan Stokes had 2. And John Cirillo 8. But more impressively than some of these individual scoring was shooting. The shooting percentage of John Carroll just lights out.
Now, from what I heard earlier in the week, I think basketball coaches are geniuses now that we look at the halftime stats and the results. Coach Moran talked about the most important thing he felt coming down here more than anything else. They got to shoot the ball better than they've been shooting it. Jared, they're 52% from the field, 43% from the 3, and 100% from the foul line. You can't do much better, especially against a quality opponent.
Yeah.
Marietta, Coach Vanderwall said the things they need to do is, number one, take care of the ball. Jared, they have 9 turnovers. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
You know, you want to stay at least at a dozen or less.
Right.
So they've got some work to do this half handling the ball. And the second thing is you must take good shots versus their pressure because it's similar to turnover. Marietta's shooting 40% from the field, 36 from the 3. Now, both those guys hit the nail right on the head in the first half. But we also know with 20 minutes to go, momentum can change drastically in a college basketball game.
Talk about those turnovers in the game earlier today. The women's game won by Mount Union over Baldwin Wallace. At halftime, Mount Union only had 3 turnovers, and that was a big key in why they had a big lead at halftime.
That's outstanding.
Here in the men's championship, 45-35, as we are just about set for second half action between John Carroll and Marietta. Keep in mind, last year Marietta played in the championship game here on their home court again, and they lost to Mount Union. A very close game, and they've got that still in the back of their mind, and they don't want to do it again this year, but they've got a hole to dig out of.
Well, you got to look at the scenario. You play your whole season, Jared. Then you play a conference tournament, and you play 3 games in a week, both teams. There's not a big gap between the teams as far as how talented they both are. And here you are on the 3rd night of the week playing. It's tough.
Yeah.
And more than physical, it's emotional and mentally tough.
It'll be the Blue Streaks to start with the basketball as we begin the second half. It'll be David Lenine in control of it for John Carroll. Bounce pass inside, shot put up and in, and a foul.
I tell you, as good as the shot was the pass by David Lenine, he bends his knees, wraps it around, and throws it to the baseline. So that's an outstanding pass.
Saw a lot of that in the women's game today too, and you know that's one of the differences. I know that coaches in high school teach it, but the players just don't seem to be as good at it as what you see at this level in college.
Well, you can teach it, Jared, but the difference is you have to practice it.
Sure.
Almost daily.
John Carroll got the rebound on the missed free throw. They lead at 47-35. Wallach on the drive, kick it back out. Three-point attempt up for Will Starks, no good. Wallach the rebound, and the ball will stay on the John Carroll side of the floor. Lenine to Wallach. Back to Lenine. Kucharowicz, strong to the hoop, couldn't get it to go. And rebounded by Marietta's A.J. Edwards.
Still a nice move, but you got to finish it.
Dylan Young back to Edwards. And a whistle and a foul away from the basketball. They call it on Doug Caputo for the Blue Streaks.
Number 45, Doug Caputo. His first foul, team's first.
Young to inbound, gets it into Edwards. Here's McKean on the drive. Off the glass, no good. Rebounded by John Carroll. Now loose again, stolen away by Dylan Young. And a whistle and a foul. Push going to be called on Warren Starks. No, check that. It's 21, Will Starks.
His first foul, team's second.
6'2 senior Will Starks out of Twinsburg, Ohio. Gates Mills Hawken High School. 47-35, 12-point deficit for the Pioneers. Garcia drive inside the paint, put it in.
That's a heck of a drive and finish.
Back to a 10-point deficit. Starks gets it over to Wallach. Back down in for Kucharowicz, no good. Eddie Grinnert the backside rebound. Young takes a screen from Grinnert. He'll fire up a three. No good. Nice rebound and put back for A.J. Edwards. (47-39) and a whistle. And the timeout. Or just substitution.
5 new players for John Carroll.
I'm not sure if he called a 30 just to rotate him, but he didn't want to talk to him.
And what about the opposing coach? Can he say, well, I want to talk to mine?
You know, I'm not 100% sure on the rule, but at this point.
Wow, Young tried to take a charge, no whistle, and no good on the shots for John Carroll. Grinnert the rebound. Here comes Young.
They do let him play, Jared, at this level.
Yes, they do. To Edwards, no good, but he's fouled.
Again, Dylan Young got deep and penetrated and created problems for John Carroll.
A.J. Edwards from Twinsburg High School goes to the free throw line.
Edwards at the line.
First shot is up for the lefty and no good. Second one for Edwards. Good. 7-point lead for John Carroll, 47-40. Three-point attempt put up and in for Antonio Vianchek.
Tell you, he's been a big boost, Jared, to their offense.
The other way, Young, way downtown, drains it.
Pioneers need that. He's been pretty quiet tonight scoring-wise.
Yeah, first points for Dylan Young.
Yeah, it's been big for the Pioneers to get him going.
Three-point attempt no good on the other end. But rebounded by the Blue Streaks. Here's Vianchek. They give it back to Farragher. Farragher, no good. Dylan Young the rebound. Here's McKean. He'll fire up a three. It's blocked. And into the hands of Farragher. Nice ball movement quickly up ahead. Vianchek scores it.
It's at 13 for Vianchek now, I believe. 14.
Yep. And a foul on the other end.
Foul is on number 11, Antonio Vianchek. His first foul, team's fourth.
Vianchek was called for the foul. And that sends Luis Garcia to the free throw line. He'll shoot 2 shots.
Yeah, against these two teams, you don't have time to celebrate after you scored. You got to get your hind end back and play defense.
Yep. 52-43 is the score as Garcia set to shoot the free throws. First one's up and no good. Second one's up and good. 11 points for Garcia. 52-44. Farragher gives back to Vianchek. Three-pointer up, no good. Young the rebound. Dylan Young. Working. Gives it to Edwards. Mismatch here. Kicks it back out. Grinnert for three. No good. Strong rebound for John Cirillo. There's Vianchek in the corner. Back to Farragher. Swinging around to Cirillo. Papich now. And Farragher. Farragher fires up a shot. No good. Young the rebound. .42 and counting here in the second half. 52-44 is the score. John Carroll. Shot clock down to 14. Young, crossover dribble, fires up a long-range three. Eddie Grinnert is there for the rebound right underneath the hoop. McKean for three, and he drains it.
Boy, that's big. He's had a tough time offensively tonight, but he shot it confidently there.
First points of the ball game for Brennan McKean, the senior out of Jeromesville, Ohio. On the other side, Farragher for three. He hit it.
See, you like the hustle, but it's still a gamble defensively.
And a turnover. 55-47 is the score.
What a big possession. They cut it to 5, and John Carroll sticks a three. They've got some toughness to them, Jared.
Fresh faces into the ball game, and a turnover for the Blue Streaks. A little bit of pressure coming from John Carroll. Grinnert gives it off to McKean. Now over to Wallace. And to McKean again. Here's A.J. Edwards at the block. McKean fires up another three. No good. Rebounded by Lenane. Check that. It's 21. Kyle Dixon, not McKean. McKean had just checked out. Will Starks the basketball. Clock rolling at 5:25. Or 14:25, that is. Three-point attempt up, no good. Grinnert the rebound.
Yeah, that was way out there. That might have been a little long. David's range.
Here's Grinnert. In the corner to Dixon. And spin move jumpers up and in. 55-49. Lenane, his shot's no good. Rebound put up and in by Simon Kukcharowicz, and he's fouled.
Yeah, he stayed after it. And every time Marietta, closes the gap a little bit, the Blue Streaks come right back at him. And as I said, how they play, Jared, the one thing you got to understand, the speed they play with on both ends. They don't have time to worry about making a mistake. You make a mistake, you know, you're either going to offense or defense. The change from offense to defense and defense to offense is incredibly good for John Carroll.
Free throw up and good for Simon Kukcharowicz. 6 points in the half for Kukcharowicz. Give him 10 for the game. But check that, 5 in the half. Give him 9 for the game. 58-49, back to a 9-point lead for the Blue Streaks. Here's Edwards, backing his way in, kicks it back out. Shot put up, no good for Wallace.
See, that's not a shot within your normal flow offense. And you know, good players think they can make all shots, and they should.
And a foul going to be called on Marietta. So call it on Jack Tome.
It's got to be just a little more patient and get something where you have better body balance to shoot the basketball.
A.J. Ireland checks back in. He replaces A.J. Edwards for Marietta. Inbound comes into Caputo. Inside to Kukcharowicz. Here's Wallach. Lenane fires up a 3 from the corner. No, give him a 2. Foot on the line.
Now that's definitely his range. You saw how smooth and easy that was for David Lenane.
60-49. Back to an 11-point lead for the Blue Streaks. Wallace. Right side, three-pointer put up and in. Draining it is Jack Tome. But quickly the other way come the Blue Streaks, but stolen away. Kyle Dixon going the other way, and he's fouled. Foul's called on Doug Caputo. So Kyle Dixon goes to the line to shoot 2 shots. See a replay of that coming up here.
Well, he did a great job in the gap defensively, Jared.
Here it is.
You see the steal, and then what I like is it went straight line to the basket.
Yep. Dixon hits the first free throw. He gets another. Second one's up and also good. 60-54, 6-point deficit for Marietta. Vianchek gives it back to Farragher. Back to Vianchek. Drives inside the paint. Nice move and nice shot for Antonio Vianchek. He's having a great ball game.
Sure is.
16 points for Antonio. Here's Ireland. He'll give it in the corner. Three-pointer up and in for Kyle Dixon. 6 points in this half for Kyle. Give him 9 for the game, 62-57.
Really stepped up for the Pioneers offensively. Here we go. They've got it back to 5. They haven't been able to get a stop at any point in this situation.
Crowd's coming alive here at Fenton Court. Shot clock down to 10. Vianchek for 3 from the corner, no good. Rebounded by the Pioneers. Here they come. Nate Walker skips it up ahead. Ireland puts it up and in.
Now we got the crowd involved.
We have a whistle and a stoppage of play for an injury on the other end. But a nice job by Marietta to get that ball up the floor quickly and finishing for A.J. Ireland.
Every time they've cut the lead to 5 or 6, Jared, they've not been able to be sound and good enough defensively to get a stop. That time they were.
(62-59), 11:29 to play in the ball game. And the officials are having a conference. They've sent the teams back to the bench. There's not a timeout called. Are they going to say that John Carroll stopped playing on the injury, and that's why he was so wide open? What do you think they might do here, Shu? I didn't hear a whistle or an official wave it dead.
I didn't hear anything, and you're not going to certainly have a do-over, but they got the score at 62-60.
Yeah, you're right. It was 62-57, correct?
That's what I saw, and he scored a layup down at this end, and you know, doing my math, when you add 2, it goes to 59, right?
I think you're a pretty good mathematician.
Yeah,
probably the best I've ever seen.
Well, thanks for that. But
math teacher, you just give this guy a note card full of numbers, and he'll tell you how much it adds up to within like 10 seconds or less, right?
It all depends. How much sleep the night before, maybe, huh?
So now the officials, one talking to Coach Moran, one talking to Coach Vanderwall, and really neither one of them look happy.
Well, as an official, I wouldn't want either one of those roles to go over there and talk to those guys right now.
They're going to keep it at 62-60.
And how's that?
I have no idea. Now the official scorer at the table is calling the officials over.
I'd like a clarification.
Yeah, no kidding. Now they've put it back to 62-59.
And I think that's right.
Yeah, that's got to be right. Because it was a 2-point shot. It was obviously, it was a layup. So now it's corrected at 62-59.
Well, the main thing is, as an official, you just want to get it right here.
Sure.
You want to make sure it's right, the time's right, and the score's right, and that's what they've done.
So 62-59, 11:29 to play in the ball game. Marietta trails it, and they've been cutting into this. It was just 11 points just moments ago, an 11-point deficit. As a coach, Tim, you know, you've just seen your team go on a big run. You've got momentum, and then a stoppage like this, probably something you don't want to see.
No, but the way these two teams play, Jared, I'm not sure that's a real big factor right here.
Lenane gets it off to Wallach, back to Lenane. He'll fire up an off-balance 3. No good, rebounded by Marietta. It's Kyle Dixon, who's had a big second half here. Dixon drives baseline, spin around jumper, no good. Blue Streaks the rebound. Cirillo pulled it down. Here's Lenane giving it now to Starks. Wallach from way downtown. And it did not hit any rims, so it's going to be Marietta basketball. Or are they calling a foul?
No, I had his hands on the rebound.
I thought it was, okay.
Yeah.
Looked like it was 24. Is that who they called it on? So Luis Garcia.
Yeah, that was a good call. He went in to help the rebound. He had his hands on the offensive rebounder.
So still 62-59. Here's Kucharowicz trying to back his way in, but Grennert staying tough down there. Here's Lenane now. Fans wanted a travel call. Lenane.
I don't know how he got
traffic.
that in the basket. That was not a travel, Jared.
No.
From our view, he hopped and then his pivot foot stayed. It's a good no call.
Garcia gives it off to Young. And to Grennert. Now back to Young.
See, sometimes you just have to have the excellent timing to feed the post, and it's just been off.
Young, a long-range 3. Can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound. Back to Garcia for 3, and he hit it.
Dylan Young's pretty sharp there. He knows he's scored 1,000 points. Find my shooter.
64-62, but quickly the other way comes John Carroll. Can't get the shot. Rebounded by Marietta. Here's Young. And a whistle and an offensive foul. Going to be called on Grennert.
Yeah, that's a technique foul. He cannot put the forearm down. What we used to tell players in the post area is show your hands. Show your official hands. You can push a lot of ways, but once your arm goes parallel and you extend, every official calls that.
9:52 and counting here to play in the ball game. 64-62. John Carroll with the basketball in the lead. Shot put up just inside the three-point line, no good. For Doug Caputo, rebounded by Edwards.
Yeah, I really think John Carroll in this last scenario has just been a little more impatient than they were earlier.
Garcia ties it up at 64.
Marietta's really battled through this stretch to get back in it. It's made it fun.
Lenane spin move inside the paint, shot no good. Tipped around. Caputo His shot no good, swatted out of bounds. It'll stay with John Carroll.
Yeah, the intensity level is just up a notch.
Here comes a fresh 5 for the Blue Streaks.
You gotta love it if you're sitting in here. You gotta love this environment.
Eddie Grinnert getting the fans chanting his name. Eddie, Eddie, as he swatted that one away. Here's Stokes. He'll give it off to Cirillo. Over now to Papich. And it was lost. Cirillo couldn't handle the pass, taken away by Marietta. Young gives it to Grinnert. Now right side to Garcia. Dump down to Edwards. Edwards, powerful, backing his way in. Puts it up, no good. Here come the Blue Streaks quickly up the floor. Farragher's going to finish it.
They are so good in transition and put the pressure on your defense.
66-64, loose ball. And a tie-up. Jump ball will stay with Marietta.
I tell you, Dylan Young dove from midcourt and covered 6 feet in the air, Jared. He lost the ball, but I love the effort. Tremendous effort.
So Marietta basketball, they trail it by 2, 66-64. Here's a replay of that dive you were talking about, Shu.
Well, look how much space he covers, and look at the effort for the basketball. That's tremendous.
Young being worked on out there by Alan Stokes. Long range 3 for Dylan Young. Gives Marietta the lead.
Hey, what? That was a new area code right there, baby.
I think he shot that one from his high school at Logan Elm. And a 3 on the other side for Farragher.
How about that?
But a technical foul going to be called on John Carroll's John Cirillo. It's after the bucket. Officials are discussing it. So we'll see what they come away with here. I'm assuming they're discussing if they're going to give him the 3. They do give him the 3, which it was before the
It was. I like this guy at the line, 93% for the year.
Absolutely. No-brainer here. Dylan Young at the free throw line. He's hit 2 big threes in this half.
You know, he really wasn't, I would say, existent, but he really didn't have a lot going for himself in the first half. But I tell you, in the second half here, Jared, he stepped up.
He can tie it up with this free throw. And he got it. Tied up at 69 with 8:09 to play in the game. There's a young Marietta fan. He's looking like a pioneer tonight. Got the hat on. It'll be Marietta basketball after the free throws from the technical foul. Young gives it off to Garcia. Here's Grinnert. And to A.J. Edwards, and he finishes it.
Really nice passing in that scenario right there. The interior passing was outstanding.
Farragher the other side.
Hey,
Tell you what, John Carroll gets it up quickly after a made bucket by Marietta.
You know, we just said earlier, Jared, you have no time to celebrate when you score. You got to get back and play defense.
Yep.
They put the heat on you.
Tied up at 71. Garcia to Edwards. Now to McKean.
High-low. Good look.
Grinnert skip pass over to Garcia. His shot's blocked, and he'll tip it back to Young. He'll fire up a 3 from way downtown. No good. Tie up, and that'll go to John Carroll.
Good effort by both players.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Moran getting a fresh 5 ready to go.
This is the third shift here.
Tied up at 71 with 7:12 to play in the game. I guess I should say in regulation at this point.
Well,
right?
yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to the very end. We said it was, even though John Carroll kind of controlled the first half and part of the second half here.
Skip pass over to Starks. He'll go on the drive, and somehow he got that shot to go.
Yeah, really talented how he hung.
73-71, Blue Streaks. Young to Grennert, to Garcia. Luis Garcia out of Miami, Florida, goes on the drive. His shot's blocked. Rebounded by Danny Wallach. Lenane gives off to Starks. Kick it over to Wallach. He'll fire up a three. No good. Rebound tipped, and it's into the hands of Dylan Young. And he's fouled.
Boy, you don't want to have a 94-foot foul. That hurts right there because they're in the bonus now, Jared. You want your team to be able to play defense in that scenario, not walk to the line. And on top of it, a 94% free throw shooter going to the line. That's just not a good play.
Garcia checks out. Coming back in for Marietta is Kyle Dixon. Young's free throw up and good. See a shot of Tim Gleason there, the commissioner of the Ohio Athletic Conference. Thanks to Tim for all his work and getting us on the air here. Young missed the second one.
How about that?
Wow, that's rare.
Going to take him down to 92%.
73-72. John Carroll with a 1-point lead. 6 minutes and counting here in the final half. Whistle and a foul going to be called on Marietta. They're calling on Dylan Young.
Yeah, that's since I thought it was going to send him into the penalty, but I guess that's just the 16th foul on Marietta.
Young going to get a break. Nate Walker comes back in.
Well, versus that pressure full court constantly, Jared, your point guard cannot play 40 minutes.
Right. Nice pass over to Doug Caputo.
David Lenane is a playmaker.
First points for Caputo, and that ball's kicked out of bounds, or tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Marietta.
That's the right call.
Got a whistle and a timeout. Coach Vanderwall will take one as his team trails at 75-72. And Tim, for those watching at home, let's talk about Division III NCAA tournament, the teams that we know are in, the teams that are out, maybe by surprise, and how it's all set up.
Well, interesting. 62 teams make the men's tournament, and 43 of those 62 are conference championships, so that only leaves 19 at-large bids. And it's based upon wins plus strength of schedule as a multiplier. And, you know, there's going to be some interesting things happening. Even here in the Great Lakes region, things have been shuffled this weekend, and we can address those here later on in the game with some people winning conference tournaments and some people being knocked out. You're just really not sure how it's going to fall.
Yeah. – 75-72, 5:32 to play in regulation. Marietta trails it. Here's Grennert. Right side now to Edward, or check that to Walker. McKean now, skip pass. It's stolen away. Will Starks to Kucharowicz, 75-72. John Carroll with a 3-point lead. Marietta had fought all the way back to take a lead. Now John Carroll trying to take back over control. And look at that scoop shot by David Lenane.
And left-handed to beat all.
77-72. Quickly the other way comes Kyle Dixon, and he throws it in the backcourt. That's going to be a violation. Student section over there for John Carroll. Actually, I should say their indoor track team, who was here earlier for the tournament. They stuck around to watch this one. They've been loud all night over there.
Yeah, the indoor track and field championships were held here at Marietta today, so it's been a busy place here in town.
Whistle and an offensive foul going to be called on Simon Kucharowicz.
Yeah, that's called displacement. You displace somebody and put yourself in their place. That's how you get a layup on an out-of-bounds play. You can get away with it, but he didn't.
We give a shout-out to our own Jack Greathouse, who's watching at home after making it home safely from Mount Union earlier today.
Hopefully he wasn't too worn out.
Dylan Young brings it up, 77-72. His team trails it by 5. 4:35 and counting here in the second half. Young thought about the three. Gets it over to Dixon. His three is up and in.
Tell you what, he's been sweet tonight offensively. That stroke looks good.
That's 10 points just in this half. And once again, John Carroll quickly the other way. But they couldn't get the shot, but Garcia was on the line. Tim, I'm not sure I've ever seen a team that inbounds the ball quicker than John Carroll on made buckets from Marietta. They are quick getting up the floor.
That's their style. Comes from practice and discipline. And they don't have time to worry about if you made a mistake defensively. You got to get the ball out, get up the floor, and play the game. It's a great lesson for young people to watch.
Farragher gives it to Vianchek. Vianchek, spin move inside the paint. Shot no good. Dixon the rebound, and Vianchek fouled.
Boy, he just short-armed it. He made a great move. He just did not get it up over the rim.
And Marietta is in the bonus. Kyle Dixon goes to the free throw line. There's a shot of Coach John Vanderwall. Done a fabulous job here at Marietta College.
Unbelievable. 2 conference championships, 2 regular season championships. This is only his 9th season. Here he is again.
Yeah.
He's going to have one or the other tonight.
Dixon's free throws up and good. He's played really, really well in this second half.
He scored. His scoring has really, really helped the Pioneers keep it where it is right here.
Second one in and out.
Notice what he did, Jared? He backed off the line. Doggone it, we see that every week we do games. Don't back off the foul line.
Farragher gives it off to Vianchek. Now to Papich, and back out now to Cirillo. Back to Vianchek. Shot clock down to 13. Game clock at 3:36. Shot put up and in for Farragher.
That's another one that's been real good offensively for the Blue Streaks.
79-76. Young brings it up. Being worked on by Brian Papich. Young, he'll drive it inside the paint, and he tried to get a pass over to Garcia, but he threw it right into the hands of Vianchek. And a whistle and a foul on Dylan Young.
Yeah, he just compounded the mistake down there and come back. How many times do we see that with young players?
Yep.
Make a mistake and then just you gotta play beyond that mistake.
Dylan, the sophomore out of Laurelville, Ohio, Logan Elm High School.
Played for an outstanding high school coach there in Doug Stiverson.
Yes. First free throw good for Farragher. Makes it 80-76. Farragher with the second. Up and good. Marietta calls a timeout. And Tim, you want to talk more about those some of the teams from around Ohio that are in and out of the NCAA tournament?
Well, as we look at the region, they rank each region. There's 8 regions. And as we said, 62 teams are going to get in, but 43 of those are automatic, whoever wins your tournament. And it's kind of like the NCAA. The teams that are bubbled, they need things to kind of go like Hoyle in the conference tournaments. Well, that's not how it's been.
Right.
Last night, Trine in Michigan beat Hope, who only had 1 loss coming in to the tournament, or 2 losses coming into the tournament. They lost. Denison beat Ohio Wesleyan in Delaware and then beat Worcester in overtime today. So Denison wins the North Coast Athletic Conference, is going to the tournament, which means Ohio Wesleyan lost in the semis and Worcester lost in the final. There's going to be a lot of polling there And, you know, Worcester's been a traditional tournament team. Ohio Wesleyan's been another team that's been there a lot. So it's going to get really tricky. And Monday, February 29th, is when they announce the pairing. So I'm kind of looking forward to see what's going to come out of all this. But, wow, just those upsets and things just kind of throw it all, Jared, into like, okay, there's only so many spots.
Yeah.
And with a team winning in the region that wasn't ranked in the region, anybody who was marginal gets kind of bumped out in that situation. So
tough decision for the committee.
It is. And if you really look at how it's decided, they do the best job they can with the information that they have available, using the strength of schedule multiplier along with the win and loss. Nobody can play everybody. So you got to have some kind of criteria to evaluate it.
It's Marietta basketball. Dylan Young with it. His team trails at 81-76. Just under 3 minutes to play in regulation. Here's Garcia. Back to Young. He'll fire up a long three, and he got it.
Tell you, what a critical possession. You're down 5. You don't make that shot, you're really in dire straits.
12 points in the ball game for Dylan Young, all in this second half. And now a whistle and a timeout for John Carroll, as it's down to a 2-point game, 81-79. Sure, you talked earlier in the pregame show about the scoring for these two teams and how balanced it's really been. I mean, again tonight.
And people step up on different nights depending on matchups. And, you know, we've seen that for John Carroll's players step up and score. And guys off the bench play different amount of minutes, different nights depending on scenario. And they've just done an outstanding job.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so balanced. These teams are so good offensively.
Let's look at us at our perch here amongst the fans at Marietta College. And a high off the glass, no good. Tipped around, finally controlled by Danny Wallach and the Blue Streaks.
That sounds like a band.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Danny Wallach and the Blue Streaks.
There you go.
The Maine just going to hold it out there. Shot clock down to 13. Here's Starks. Caputo trying to go strong to the hoop, just flung one up there with his left hand. Couldn't get it to go. Rebounded by Marietta.
Yeah, he's usually not one of their offensive options.
Yeah. Edwards has it stripped, gets it back. Young wanted to take that three, just hit a long range earlier. And now a whistle and a block going to be called on David Lenane. That's a good call.
Yeah, the contact was before the arm extension. Yeah. That's a real good call. And nothing like putting, like we said, a 93% free throw shooter at the line.
He just missed his last one, surprisingly. And a couple before that were pretty close, bouncing around the rim.
And Jared, I'll attribute that to fatigue a little bit. Yeah. They have chased him and hounded him all night. But he's a pretty tough cookie.
First free throw is good. Gives him 13 points in the ball game. Cuts it to a 1-point deficit. He'll try to tie it up here with this free throw. And he got it. Tied up at 81.
What could you ask for? What better with a minute and a half to go? You got a tight game between these two teams. It's great.
Dump inside. Shot put up off the glass. Simon Kukcharowicz.
That's a heck of a shot.
83-81, a minute 20 and counting here in regulation. Dylan Young being worked on by Wallach. He'll get it over to Garcia. Now A.J. Edwards dumps it over. Eddie Grinnert. Shot fake, and second shot wouldn't go, but it stays with Marietta.
That's tall timber Eddie's trying to score over in there.
No kidding.
Look
83-81.
Look like three redwoods side by side in there.
83-81. 11 seconds on the shot clock, 1:06 on the game clock. Young gets it in to Edwards. And now over and back. Wow.
Yeah, that's just not knowing where you are on the floor. You just kind of got to take your time and know. But you have to move on, Jared. You cannot worry about that possession.
Yeah.
You're down 2 points.
Coach Moran calls a timeout. I think Young was doing the right thing. He was coming to try to get the ball from his teammate who was trapped over there, but he wanted him to wait until he got in the backcourt.
Yeah.
And instead he threw it in the front court, and his momentum took him over.
Yeah, no chance there.
So 1 minute to play in regulation. John Carroll leads it 83-81, and they will have the basketball coming out of this timeout, which was called by Coach Moran. And I don't know if we have a shot over there by where John Carroll's bench is, but Coach Moran lost the jacket early in this game. I'm not sure if he started with a tie.
He did.
But he certainly lost that early, too, and a couple buttons came unbuttoned. I mean, on purpose. He's
Moran,
into this.
He's like he's going to the steel mill to work when the game starts. He rolls his sleeves up, takes the tie off, unbuttons a button, and he gets after it. I tell you, Jared, you get a chance to talk to him off the floor. He's a gentleman. He's got a great sense of humor, but in the competitive mode, he's focused, and he's making sure his team is doing the things that he wants done.
The number 2 seed in this tournament, John Carroll, coming in 15-3 in the conference, 24-3 overall. They now lead at 83-81 over the number 1 seed in the tournament, 17-1 in the conference, 25-2 overall in Marietta. So it will be John Carroll basketball, 1 minute to play. Vianchek gets it into Lenane.
Now notice, this isn't the group that
I was
played
just getting
together.
ready to say that. We've not seen Vianchek in with this group.
No, and they've just got their players that are playing the best, and that's a great assistant coaches and benches.
Yeah, and I almost thought there was just 4 guys on the court. They've got Will Starks hiding way down in the corner.
Yeah, he's way deep. Here we go, little high pick and roll.
Lenane to the hoop and scores.
Boy, is he so good.
85-81, down to 32 seconds. Young, crossover dribble inside the paint. His shot's blocked. Grinnert tries to fight for it. Up ahead comes John Carroll. Nice ball movement. The finish. Up and in for Will Starks.
That
and a timeout for Moran.
I tell you, Simon Kucharowicz made a great pass. He looked up the floor immediately on the run, and that's a 6'7" post-man running the floor, Jared.
21.7 seconds to play in the ball game. Shot clock is off. It's 87-81. John Carroll. Marietta will have the basketball. This is a situation, Shu, where they need to score pretty quickly here.
Well, yeah, the clock's your enemy right now. You know, not just the score being down 6. You've got a little bit of time. What you've got to talk about is if you're Marietta, you want to get a score in this scenario. But on top of that, you got to talk about how you're going to play defense immediately and who you're going to foul.
We'll play it by ear. I don't know if it's
So Coach Mike Moran is the one that called the timeout for John Carroll.
Yeah, he's trying to set his defense.
Yep.
I will tell you this, if you're a player, John Carroll, you're not confused about what's expected.
Yeah.
It's quite clear.
They'll bring a little bit of pressure. Inbound comes into Young. Over to McKean. Garcia, turnaround jumper's no good. Gets his own rebound, tipped from Edwards, and he puts it up and in. 87-83. And a whistle and a foul pretty quickly as there's 7.8 seconds showing on the clock. It's going to be the 5th foul. Got a stoppage again as the officials are discussing something over at the scorer's table. They're going to put a little bit more time on the clock. Right now it just says 0.9, but there's more than that.
Yeah, I think it was 10.9 to be honest with you when the clock kind of went down. They got a 9.2.
Now they've got 9.2. Yeah, that's what they're going to go with.
Now this is just a 1-and-1 here.
Coach Moran wants an explanation. His assistants are pulling him back. Okay, sit down, Coach. And the first free throw, no good.
Yeah, they got the miss they wanted.
Yeah, Grenard the rebound, an immediate timeout. (87-83). They trail it by 4 with 8.3 to go.
Same scenario. You got to make sure you get a score. You don't want to shoot a panic shot like a panic three. You want to make sure you get a basket here because that will put you within one possession. It's not over yet.
Looking at the 3-point averages for Marietta. Of course, just in tonight's game, we've seen Dylan Young hit several of them.
Well, you know, when you look at the 3-point shots, Dylan Young's if you round up, he's 50% from the three. That is just
unbelievable.
That's out of sight, Jared. But Dylan's got to kind of take a little time and get it lined up. So Kyle Dixon, actually, who shot the ball well tonight, he shot almost 41% this year from the three. So that's not a bad option either, but he's not in the game right now.
Another thing about Dylan Young's shot, it's almost, he has to be pretty open because he kind of shoots it a little low, under the chin, it looks like.
Yeah, it's what we used to call a little push shot.
Yeah.
But he's got range with it. You can tell he's practiced, and he's certainly a weapon.
So we'll see what Coach John Vanderwall comes up with here. They trail it by 4. Last year they lost, I believe the final was 85-81 to Mount Union right here on their home floor. Edwards to inbound. He has McKean out there, Garcia out there, Young, and Grenard. Gonna throw a long one down to Grenard. Get it over to Garcia. Garcia to the hoop and scores with 5 seconds to go. And a quick foul on the inbound. The 3.8 takes it to 87-85.
It's a nice play.
It was very nice.
Okay, A.J. Edwards threw that thing like he was holding a volleyball. Just whipped it, and good catch by Eddie Grenard.
Another discussion at the scorer's table. Coach Vanderwall was all the way over there, and an official is escorting him back to the bench. So it'll be David Lenane at the free throw line to shoot free throws.
Still 1-and-1, Jared.
And he missed it. And Marietta calls an immediate timeout.
Boy, if it was like the NBA where you get a half court, it would really be interesting, wouldn't it?
So here's a setup. Pioneers trail it by 2, 87-85. 4.2 seconds to play in the ball game, and they will have the ball with the length of the floor to go. Obviously, they just probably ran their bread and butter long pass play just a little bit ago.
All you can ask for and all you want out of your players offensively in this scenario is you want to get a shot.
Yeah.
Don't turn it over. Don't do something crazy. Make sure we get a shot, because we used to tell them, Jared, if you get a shot, guess what? It might go in.
True.
If you don't get a shot, you have no chance. You just want to make, and it sounds ridiculously simple, but it is that simple.
Coach Vanderwall is coming to check with the official where the inbound will be taking place, what side of the court.
And you got to remember, it's a spot violation. You cannot run the baseline because it was a rebound off a miss. Makes it tougher for the inbound. You got to really execute. It doesn't look like John Carroll's going to put anybody on the ball, which surprises me.
Yeah.
Unless there may be a scenario where they watch for the lineup here.
And then call a timeout?
Yes, to set themselves. Because I can't believe
I think
they're
going
not.
to. I think they're going. Look, looking over there, it looks like they're maybe.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not.
Yeah, he's going to call timeout.
There he goes.
Yeah, he wanted to see the setup for Marietta, and that's good coaching right there, because I think you have to pressure the passer. It's just too easy to get it in. In 4 seconds, good college players, they can get up the floor, Jared.
Yeah.
Dribble, pass obviously is faster. They can gain ground at the dribble, and they're so strong and such good shooters that, boy, you just hate if you let them get it in and get up and they throw it in and you lose by a point.
Yep. So 87-85, 4 seconds to play in the ball game. Boy, we've seen a couple of good basketball games today. The women's game was a good one between Mount Union and Baldwin Wallace, eventually won by the Purple Raiders to advance to the women's Division III tournament. And here, of course, this game a good one as well. Both these teams most likely going to advance. But, of course, like you mentioned, you definitely want this conference championship, especially you're Marietta. You lost it last year on your home court. You want it back.
They've won the regular season, which counts. I mean, that means something, but you'd like to win them both.
Sure.
But you got to remember, Jared, the margin of error is very small between all these teams.
It'll be McKean to inbound. Gets it into Young, down to 3 seconds. Young across midcourt, down to 1 second. Young, he will not get a shot off. And John Carroll will win it, 87-85. Wow. What a finish here at Van Johnson Arena, Fenton Court at Marietta College as John Carroll players celebrate.
Hopefully nobody got hurt in the scrum.
Yeah, no kidding.
And that is the end of tonight's contest. The final score,
So John Carroll wins it, and they are the OAC tournament champions.
Please stick around for tonight's post-game award ceremony.
As I tally up some final scoring here, we will stick around and see if we can try to get a word with the winning coach, Mike Moran. We're not sure if we'll be able to, but we will try. OAC Commissioner Tim Gleason on the court to present the trophies and make the announcement of the all-tournament team. Look at that celebration there on the replay. Kind of surprised they just couldn't get a shot off.
Just took too long with the ball. With 4 seconds, you're not going to get that many dribbles. There has to at least be 2 passes involved. There was only 1 pass involved, Jared. It's just too much coverage.
Yep. Commissioner Tim Gleason on the court now talking. He will present the trophies, name the all-tournament team. Actually, he's going to have the PA announcer do it. So let's take a listen.
Fans, we would like to announce the all-tournament team for the 2016 OAC Men's Basketball Tournament. From Baldwin Wallace, Cameron Koo. From Mount Union, Jake Jacobek. From Marietta College, Luis Garcia. From John Carroll.
Our cameraman down on the court, Dave Bickham, checked in with Coach Mike Moran. Looks like he's going to try to come up to chat with us as soon as this trophy presentation and announcement of the all-tournament teams. David Linane named the most valuable player.
I would concur.
OAC tournament.
Tremendous in the clutch.
Let's listen to Tim Gleason.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight and thank Marietta for hosting. Tonight we have 2 champions, and we are going to give a trophy to each of these teams for being champions, and both of these teams are going to be going on and playing in the NCAA. First, I'd like to present the regular season trophy to Marietta College, back-to-back champions. Your season is not over. You are 17-1 this year. You have built a tremendous program under Coach John Vanderwall. Second year in a row you've hosted. You are the champions regular season of the OAC, Marietta College. 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 Marietta College
That's Commissioner Tim Gleason presenting the trophies, and we congratulate both of these teams on fine seasons, and also all the players from the teams that made all-tournament team, and of course David Lenane, who was named the MVP of this tournament. Very well deserved.
College Pioneers are on both Facebook and Twitter. Fans can receive Twitter updates by visiting twitter.com/.
So we will hopefully get a word with Coach Mike Moran.
Fans, thank you for your attendance to tonight's contest. And always remember,
after they get a team picture
thank you.
with their championship trophy. We're going to run down some scoring while we wait for Coach Moran. First of all, for Marietta College, it was Dylan Young finishing with 14 points. Anthony Wallace had, by the way, Dylan Young's 14 points were all in the second half. Anthony Wallace had 6. It was Kyle Dixon with 14. 11 of those were in the second half. Brendan McKean had 3. A.J. Ireland with 2. It was A.J. Edwards with 9 points. Eddie Grinnert had 12 points. They shut him out in the second half. Jack Tome had 5, and leading the way for Marietta College was Luis Garcia with 20. For John Carroll, lots of scorers got in the scorebook. Danny Wallach had 5. It was Doug Caputo with 2. John Cirillo with 8. Alan Stokes had 2. Simon Kukcharowicz finished with 11 points. Will Starks had 7. It was Antonio Vienchek with 16 points. Ryan Farragher had 18, and David Lenane, the MVP of this tournament, also finished with 18 points. So 4 guys in double figures for Coach Mike Moran and his Blue Streaks.
Outstanding balance and really excellent play off the bench for as far as the scoring goes with Boyanchik and
Farragher.
Yeah, Farragher.
Yeah.
Sorry, it wasn't coming to me there, but just an outstanding boost for him.
So Coach Mike Moran, I believe, is on his way up to try to talk to us as Tim Gleason congratulates him down on the court. So we hope to talk to Coach Moran. It's looking like he's being grabbed by some other media right now.
Yeah, maybe Dave Bickham can get him for us.
I think some other media members down on the court have Coach Moran. Once again, your final score, 87-85. John Carroll over Marietta here on Marietta's home court in the OAC Tournament Championship.
Heck of an environment tonight, heck of a basketball game. Just 2 really, really good teams, Jared. Both of them 25-3 on the season.
Unbelievable. Yeah. So what does the future look like for them moving into the rest of the tournament, the big tournament now?
Well, some of that depends on who gets to host, and, it depends on what happened here a little bit tonight and some of that situation. So you don't know. It's really a crapshoot, and you want to play well. But every team that's in that tournament, Jared, is either a champion or we're right on the edge of being a champion in their conference tournament. So the competition is fierce.
The John Carroll Blue Streaks cutting down the net, as you see there, as they are 2016 OAC tournament champions. As we await Coach Moran, we hope to get a word with him. So as we wait for Coach Mike Moran, looks like he's still talking to a media member down on the court. So we're going to take a quick timeout, and we hope to have Coach Mike Moran when we come back. This is the OAC Men's Basketball Tournament Championship.
A member of NCAA Division III, the OAC features outstanding educational programs in a small class setting, while offering competitive athletic opportunities in 23 sports. 10 private colleges and universities form the OAC, the nation's premier small athletic conference. Baldwin Wallace University, Capital University, Heidelberg University, John Carroll University, Marietta College, the University of Mount Union, Muskingum University, Ohio Northern University, Otterbein University, and Wilmington College. The Ohio Athletic Conference, where a proud history meets the promise of tomorrow.
up, man? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet
How's
you.
it going? It's good.
I chose John Carroll because of that excellent academic reputation.
If you really look at the mission of John Carroll, what it boils down to is putting others before yourself, and really everybody reaps the benefits of that.
Be smart. Remember to pray.
I think this is the start of becoming my own person.
You'll do wonderfully, and I'm so proud of you. We love you.
Your future begins here. Marietta College opens the door to endless opportunities through our 45 in-depth programs of study. Do you want to work in business, healthcare, engineering? Let us show you how Marietta College can help you get there. Our contemporary liberal arts education is the answer to a bright future. Now is the time to find out why Marietta College is the right place for you. Apply today.
A member of NCAA Division III, the OAC features outstanding educational programs in a small class setting, while offering competitive athletic opportunities in 23 sports. 10 private colleges and universities form the OAC, the nation's premier small athletic conference. The Ohio Athletic Conference, where a proud history meets the promise of tomorrow.
Welcome back to Marietta College. We are pleased to be joined by the victorious head coach of John Carroll Blue Streaks, Mike Moran. And, Coach, got to feel pretty good to watch your team cutting down the net here.
You know what? First of all, I just want to compliment the Marietta people, the administration that ran the tournament. And Johnny Vanderwall just does a phenomenal job. And his kids play so hard. You know what's nice is we have, I think, two very good representative teams going into the NCAA tournament. So I think the conference and both schools are very proud of that.
Yeah, there have been some upsets here in the region. I don't know if you heard today.
No.
Denison beat Worcester.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
So that's going to throw a little chink in some armor there, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, maybe a school like Mount Union could sneak in or something. Who knows?
You don't know. I think that hurts some of the at-large or some of the teams for the at-large on the bubble because, you know, they're down below some of the other ranked. But man, it's been a crazy week.
Well, you know what? I think one thing about John's team, my team, we're on top of the bubble, so we're just going to enjoy it. We're going to float away.
That's kind of good to have that feeling.
Yes.
Do you think possibly you could get a host now of this situation?
I would think we'd host. I would hope so. At least, you know, I don't the first round for sure. But you know what? It's politics. So anytime politics is involved, you just never know. That's for sure.
Now you just got to be playing beyond the regular season here, and
yeah, you know what? We're fortunate. We had a couple early quality wins against non-conference teams that I think helps us. But I can't do anything about it. All I want to do is enjoy that now it's a magic carpet ride back home. I think anytime you win, the trip, you know, cuts down about an hour in trip time, and the food just tastes a lot better. You know, it really does. But you know what? Thank God the game wasn't another 30 seconds longer. It could have been a different ending. We're just happy that when the smoke cleared, we were standing there. That's all.
You know what? Your team executed really well, though, when the game was tied within the last couple minutes, Coach, and you had a timeout, and you got the ball, and David Linane made a great play. He really did. We had a great look at it. You know, you put the ball in one of your best players' hands at that
Well, I think, you know what, I have to give that credit to my son, Pete. He's kind of our offensive coordinator, so he was making those calls down there. So, and he'll remind me of that tomorrow, too. Probably will have to feed his family, but you know, and I'm blessed with a great staff. Just Ryan Snyder, he's our defensive coordinator. Frankie O'Brien, him and I are been together for 1,000 years. Spencer Rule, and of course our players. You know, that the beauty of Division III is you got kids out there that know why they're in school. This is just the frosting on the cake. You know, they created a nice experience and a memory for themselves today.
Yeah, but you also need to be complimented, Coach. I've watched your teams over years. I played in the conference many moons ago, and nobody played like you play. It's a unique style. Your players have obviously bought in. They get it, and that comes from teaching and making people understand what's expected. And as I told Jared during the break, there's no confusion about what's expected of your players, and that you deserve credit for.
Well, I appreciate that. I hope you tell that to my wife too when I go home. She doesn't have that high impression. She doesn't feel as highly about me than you do, but I appreciate that, Tim. That's for sure. But you know what? I think one of my former coaches, Johnny Stedman, was a Marietta guy. I don't know if you remember John. He was, you know what? That was always a big thrill for him to come back home and coach. And I must see half his relatives here every time I come. So all the Stedman family that live in Marietta, I just want to say hello to.
That's beautiful, because this was kind of like the lake to the river game, and it includes all of Ohio and in between. And you know, we've been very fortunate to be able to do this game and broadcast it live. And our producer here, Bob, said almost 2,000 people watching this live tonight.
Yeah, well, I hope 1,500 of them were John Carroll fans. I pray. I hope my wife was too. But guys, I truly thank you very much for the opportunity to talk, and I'm gonna get down there and
absolutely,
you know, have some. Throw some water on these kids.
Coach,
Jimmy,
thanks a lot. Congratulations. Good luck the rest of the way.
Appreciate it very much. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Coach Mike Moran, the victorious head coach of the John Carroll Blue Streaks, as his team wins it tonight. The final 87-85. They are OAC tournament champions. We want to thank our crew from Interface Video Productions, Bob Campetti, Aaron Uhl, Jason Roush, and Dave Bickham on camera tonight. For Tim Shumaker, I'm Jared Stewart. Have yourselves a great night, everybody.